Hello everyone. So in my last class I was discussing about Vesper theory at the end of the class. Okay. So I told that Vesper theory, what is that? The valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay. So valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So before going to this topic I was talking about some term called hybridization, right? So what I told that hybridization is a mixture of orbitals. Why we need mixture? Why we need the mixture of our orbitals, like hybrid orbitals? Just because different orbital shapes are different. Okay, like s orbital, p orbital shapes are different. So to make them join or covalent bond or ionic bond, whatever, mainly in covalent bond type of molecule. So if you want to merge the orbitals with each other to form a covalent bond, their orbital shapes has to be similar. Okay, so I told here, I gave one example, and I think I gave the one example from your book also in the hybridization topic. If you can see again that suppose I'm here hydrogen and fluorine I took, so hydrogen 1 s orbital and fluorine's s as well as p orbitals, these three orbitals are coming in the bonding. Okay, in the bonding is outermost valence shell. Okay, so you can see hydrogen 1 is and fluorine s and p both are coming in the bonding. So but p is having different shapes, that's why these three will merge and they will form a similar type of shape. This three lobes means for these three orbitals, but all the shapes are same. Okay, so this is called hybridization. Okay, and how to name this hybridization? Suppose I am using 1s and 2p, so I have named the sp2. Okay, so the name of the hybridization will be sp2. So how it's come sp2? Here too I took some random example. Okay, so when we'll do more explained way we will discuss. So right now just remember that hybridization is a mixture of orbitals just to make up their like anomalous shape. Okay, so just to make them the same shape, hybridization is a mixture of orbitals. Okay, now I'll go to directly the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, that is Vesper theory. So what is that Vesper theory? Vesper theory is a special theory which tells us about the shape of an molecule, shape of a molecule. Okay, so till now we have done our Lewis dot structure or only Lewis structure. Okay, to know the structures or the bonding of any molecule. But what is the problem? The drawback, we already learned the drawback of Lewis thing, that the drawback of the Lewis model is that we cannot predict the shape of the atoms. We just only can draw that how many bonds are coming in the bonding, how many lone pairs, how many bonds pair they are forming. But what is the shape? What is the angle of the each of the bond? How the molecules, all the bonds are oriented? Okay, that we cannot say. This proper 3D structure is we can't able to say from the Lewis model. Okay, the proper 3D structure. Okay, I'm talking about 3D structure. Okay, so there is some postulates which you have to follow for our valence, for our Vesper theory. Okay, so how to know the shape? The first rule they are saying that the shape of a molecule is saying that our Vesper theory is saying, first point is saying that the saying that the shape of a molecule is depends on the number of valence shell electrons. Okay, so what does it say? That the shape of the molecule depends on the number of valence, it is n. Okay, the number of valence shells electron means it depends on the outermost, obviously, because outermost shells electrons are only participate in all kind of bonding, so the shape is also depends on that only. So valence shell means it can be bonded electron also, it can be non-bonded or lone pair also, means non-bonded and lone pair means same. Okay, so it depends on both. Second point is saying that the pairs of electrons in the valence shell repel one another since their electron clouds are negatively charged. So it's saying that pairs of electrons in the valence shell. Okay. So whatever the pairs, we know that orbitals means we can draw some boxes of the orbitals. So whatever the pair, suppose I have two pairs here, suppose I have three pairs, suppose this is a p orbital, I have some in any atom, and all are fulfilled, and after bonding, if you see after bonding, everything will coming fulfilled only, okay, when they will share. So in simple language, that electrons in the valence shell repel each other, okay. Why? Because they are negatively charged. Third point, what is the third point? Third point is saying that these pairs of electrons tend to occupy such positions in space that minimize repulsion and thus maximize distance between them. For example, I am drawing the like structures of H2O. H2, what is the probable structure? One can write H2 structure, maybe this one. Okay, H2 has two lone pairs. Okay, H2 structure can be this one also. Okay, this one. So which is the correct one? Actually, this is the correct one. This is wrong. So why? See here, how many pairs of electrons are there? Two bonded pair. This is bonded pair, right? Means which is actually participating in the covalent bond. So how many covalent bond is there? Two covalent bond means two pair of electrons. The bonded electrons are present, and two lone pair, or we can say the two non-bonded electrons are also present. Okay. So what will happen? The pairs of electrons repulse each other, and always remember that bonded pairs, two bonded pairs repulsion is different from the non-bonded to bonded, or we can say non-bonded to non-bonded also. Means everything is repulsing each other. So how many repulsion can be possible? One can be possible bond pair to bond pair repulsion. Okay, another can be possible bond pair to lone pair repulsion, like this one. This is our bond pair, this is our lone pair, right? So these two, so here can be the repulsion between these two. Lone pair I can write like this, it's like a balloon, and between two electrons, this is our lone pair, so there can be repulsion. Or what can be the other repulsion? Lone pair and lone pair. For example, if I write the structure of H2O like this, suppose I am drawing the lone pairs like this into balloon, so what will happen? So these two also can repulse with each other. So how many repulsions are present? One is in between bond pair. One is in between bond pair to lone pair. Here also bond pair to lone pair. Here it is lone pair to lone pair. So many different types of repulsions are there. That is bond pair, lone pair, lone pair, lone pair. Okay. And what is the strength? Which is the maximum repulsion? Okay, the maximum repulsion will be your in shortcut I am writing lone pair repulsion is the maximum, then it's coming your lone pair and bond pair, then it's coming your bond pair repulsion. Means two lone pairs can repulse maximum. Okay, so what will happen now? Now see why we are studying the theory. Focus on this. Two lone pairs, their in between them, it's having the maximum repulsion. So what they want to do? They want to push them each other. So they want to go far away from each other. Okay, and bond pair repulsion is less. So this is high. So these two repulsion, due to this highest repulsion, these bonds will come closer. Okay, means see here, due to the, suppose I am writing H2 molecule like this, suppose H lone pair. So these two lone pairs will repulse with each other, and these two bonds will shrink, and these two will bend automatically. It will bend. Let's see how the lone pairs and bond pairs numbers will depend the shape. If your lone pair repulsion is high, lone pair will push the other bonds to get bent. Okay, so this is the reason. See here I drew the lone pair up and down. It does not mean this is like opposite. It can repulse from here because the spaces are free. It's up and down. It does not mean that both are in opposite angle, they cannot repulse. But it's not like that. Okay, so you can write any set, but the two bond pairs will not be in same line. It will be in the bent shape. Why is the water molecule is bent shape or the angular shape? This is called angular shape also, because here lone pair repulsion is much more, and lone pair will push the other bond pairs to get bent. Okay. Okay. So this is the actually this is I actually I read almost all the points of your valence shell electron pair theory. So that's the reason of your share. So that's how we can depict the shape of the molecule. So till it is incomplete, why it is incomplete, we can't explain till now that how many bond pair and lone pair will be there. We can do with our valence bond theory. We will do it in our next class, but today I will discuss with that only. Okay, now one more, if you see now, I hope this one you understood. So what is the conclusion we got? So what is the summary? Okay, the summary, if I say in shortcut, I can say that the shape of any molecule depends on the all the valence shell electrons, bond pairs also, lone pairs also. Number 2 point which you have to remember. Okay, lone pair repulsion is maximum, and bond pair repulsion is the least one. Okay, so what is the effect of this repulsion? If in my molecule lone pairs are present, suppose 2 lone pairs or 3 or 4, means maximum more than 1 lone pairs are present, so lone pair will repulsion will be the maximum, and this causes the angular shape of the molecule, or the bend shape of the molecule. Okay, acha chalo, according to this theory, there is some, but a table is formed. Okay, a table is formed where depending on the central atom and the molecules, there are 2 parts actually. One is the molecules in which the central atom has no lone pair, and the other one, number 2, is the molecules in which the central atom has 1 or more lone pair. So depending on this, different numbers molecules have different shapes. So now we will learn about this. Okay, so I am going to your type. Okay, so number of electron pairs. So I am going to your number is suppose total electron pairs. I am writing here total electron pair in shortcut. Okay, total electron pair, and suppose I am writing here the shape. Okay, I am writing here the shape. Okay, and some example. Okay, some example. Okay, so total electron pair means total valence shell electron pair. It's concluded bond pair also, lone pair also, means total. Okay, I'm not going to the suppose I am considering in my molecule everything is there. Okay, chalo. So first will be number 2. Suppose in my molecules it started with number 2, because to form a molecule at least two means what? 2 electrons pair has to be there. Okay, if you see any molecule, it has to be. Okay, chalo. So if in my molecule 2 total electron pairs are there, and I have a central atom, that means suppose it is my central atom. So so the shape will be linear. Okay, and here will be the here will be the other atoms. Okay, the minor atom, the attaching atoms. Okay, so they are the central atom. Okay, so for example, I am telling you for example, like your barium chloride, BeCl2. This is one example. Okay, first let us come to 1. 1 is the obviously, 1 is there will be only one single bond, so it's already like hydrogen fluoride, only one bond. Okay, so obviously it will be linear, but if my compound is having 2 total electron pair, its shape will be straight. Okay, for example, barium chloride. Okay, if in my molecule there is total 3 electron pair, 3 pair means suppose I am talking all are 3 bond. Okay, suppose out of this 3 bond, 1 may be the lone pair, and here I drew all like a covalent bond, but it can be lone pair also, and that time I can write like here. See, I draw the same. No, water. What is the difference between water shape and this one shape? Same shape, but instead of straight line, I drew just one. So forget about this one. Instead of the straight line, I just drew one balloon type of lone pair. So here means that 3 total electron pair means the shape will be trigonal planar. See, it's looking like a triangle and it's on the plane, and in the middle the central atom will be there. So Central atom means like for example your BF3. So BF3 structure will be B in the central atom. B is the major atom, means in which all the other atoms are attached. So this is the structure, this is the shape, actual shape of BF3. Okay, so BF3 shape will be trigonal planar. Okay, and what will be the angle? Is all the angles will be 120 degree. Okay, all the angles. Here the angle will be 180 degree. Come to 4. Now come to 4. If your total electron pairs are 4, see here I am not showing any lone pair. I am taking all as a, for simplicity I am taking all as a bond pair, means to show like a straight line. Okay, if in your practical question any lone pair come, you can easily draw one balloon in any position. Okay, depending on the number. If you have one lone pair, you can draw one lone pair. If you have two lone pair, you can draw two lone pair. Okay, now come to 4. 4 total number of electron pair is 4. 4 means 4 bond, right? 4 bond, the structure will be tetrahedral. How it will be tetrahedral? Now see how am I drawing. Okay, so this is a dark arrow and suppose this is here. Okay, in the middle there is a central atom. Now see, the dark arrow means in the front, means up the plane. Suppose the straight are like this. Okay, like this. The straight lines are, suppose on the page of my copy, the bonds goes like this. One bond is goes like this, and this bond is goes like this. Okay, and the dark one, little thick one goes like little this up the plane. Okay, and this broken line goes in the back side of the paper, means back side of the paper means below the plane. Okay, so this means these three bonds are actually looks like a pyramid. Okay, these three bonds are looks like a pyramid. This is the front part, this is the back part, this is the on the plane, and this will be on the plane, this is upside. Okay, so this is called tetrahedral shape. This is called your tetrahedral shape. Tetrahedral shape. Okay, this is called trigonal planar. This is called tetrahedral shape. This table is in your book. Okay, you can easily see it. Okay, I'm just explaining it. And what will be the angle? Now see, all the angles are same actually. Here the angle is 109 degree 5 minutes. Okay, the angle of each tetrahedral bonds and are 109.5 degree. Example like your CH4. So what is the shape of CH4? In your book the 3D shape is not there. Like your how am I drawing like a dark line or broken line? This is called 3D shape. Okay, so you can draw like this in exam. Okay, so this is your CH4, the shape of CH4. You see, it's called tetrahedral. You can draw some imaginary line. So this here the dot see the straight dot line is imaginary line. The broken dot line is your actual bond. Okay, don't be confused. Okay, but this is actual bond. Why I drew like this? To show that this is back of the plane. Okay, so this is an imaginary line to show that this is a tetrahedral structure. Okay, now come to your 5. I'm drawing here. If your total electron pair is your 5, so in case of 5 the shape name will be trigonal. Okay, trigonal bipyramid. How? Suppose this is your central atom, so I'm making first a triangle. So see, this is looks like a triangle. So that means 3 bonds done. I have to put more 2 bonds. So one will be up the plane, and suppose these 3 bonds are on the plane, and this one will be up the plane and another will be down, and in the middle the three bonds are there. Okay, and another will be down. Okay, so this is called trigonal. You have to remember, you have to mug up these things. Okay, yes, you heard correct. You have to mug up all the shapes depending on the number of total electron pair. As soon as you can remember, it will be good for you. Okay, so this is called trigonal bipyramidal. So example for this shape is called, suppose your PCl5. So what is the shape of PCl5? If I draw here, so it will be phosphorus will be in the middle. Okay, I am drawing 3 triangle first. Cl here, all the atoms are same. You can suppose if your atoms are different also, that time also it does not matter. You can put anywhere. Okay, that's the positive side of this theory. Okay, so it will be chlorine, it will be chlorine. See, understood? Means these 3 chlorine, means chlorine number 1, 2, 3 are on the plane. Suppose on the plane of the page, and these two up and down chlorine are up and down. Okay, so these three chlorines which is on the plane, it is called equatorial positions, and up and down positions are called axial positions. Okay, okay. Next is your number 6. Number 6 shape is your 6 means 6 bonds, so the shape will be octahedral. Okay, octahedral. I'm writing here the name first. Octahedral. How? This is, suppose this is a central atom. So first I'll draw a square planar. Okay, this suppose I'll draw a perfect square. It's not, though it's not a perfect square. So imaginary means it looks like a square. The actual bond is this one, the continue one. Okay, so this is the actual bonds, this is imaginary one. You know why I'm drawing the imaginary? To show that this is what is the shape looks like, to show you. Okay, here the trigonal bipyramid, why the name is trigonal bipyramid, you know, this is looks like a triangle and this is up, no? So I can draw one more imaginary line. This up and means like this, see, and this one of them. So if I draw all imaginary line, it looks like a trigonal pyramid, up also and down also. Down also one pyramid. So how many pyramids are there in this picture? 2 pyramids. That's why bipyramid. Bi means 2. In which shape? Trigonal shape. Okay, so trigonal bipyramid. Okay, now it's coming octahedral. How it's coming octahedral? So I drew one square planar, but how many bonds I have? 6. So how many bonds I drew already? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many left? 2. So one will be up and one will be down. Again, these 4 bonds are on the plane and these 2 will be up and down. These 4 are in equatorial position and these 2 are up and down. And if I draw again like this, so this is not looking like a pyramid. Okay, it looks like a pyramid, but the total vertices are 4. Okay, sides are 4. So the name is octahedral. Okay, octahedral. Why it is octahedral? Because it has a 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 in up and down also. If I draw a line, down also 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why the name is octahedral. Okay, I think if you learn till now only up to 6, it will be enough for you. So I think you can go directly to your the value Weisbach theory. I think it's your page number 1113 is your introduction of Weisbach theory. Then page number 114 is a table, and again your page number 115 again, depending on the molecule type. Molecule type AB2 means they took the general form. Just see once. Okay, so you have to remember the table. This table is like logical. Okay, if you learn the tables like with logic, you can easily remember. Okay, if you are going to try to mug up, you will never ever. Okay, so rewind the video, see again. Okay, and just go through the pages. Okay, so 115, 114 and 113, 113 to 15. See once. Okay, next we will discuss about valence bond theory.